Yeah, it is six o'clock.
December 2023 meeting of the Homewood Planning Commission. Mr. Goodwin, if we could start off with a roll call, please.
All right. Mr. Henniger,
Here.
Ms. Wilcott, Mr. Harwell, Mr. Respento, Mr. Armstead, Mr. Broadhead,
Here.
Miss Andress,
Here.
Mr. Goulas,
Here.
and Mr. Roberts.
Here.
We are holding on to a quorum. Got it.
All right, so, has everyone had a chance to look at the November meeting minutes? They look good to me. If they look good to you guys, I'd entertain an order to, a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so the minutes are passed. All right, communications, Mr. Armstead's not here this evening. As chair, I have no communications. We have also no old business, so we'll move on to new business. The first case is RS 23-12-01 relating to 1810 25th Court South. Applicant is Joseph Miller. Whoever's here to present on this case, come forward and present. It also, and this is kind of as a general reminder, when you come up, not only just tell us your name and address, if you could also write those on the pad but in front of you, we'd appreciate that.
My name is Jeremy Taylor. I am an employee with MTTR Engineers. Joseph couldn't be here tonight. He is at a different Planning Commission meeting. Our address, y'all need that. If you need our address, it's 3 River Chase Ridge, Hoover, Alabama. Here to answer any questions. Basically, we're trying to get the final plat approved, and it's my understanding that y'all needed to see the site plan in order to approve the final plat. The reasoning for the building is they have some temporarily trailers on the site plan that you see. They're using that for temporary classrooms right now, and they want to build a new permanent structure to house the students that are in those temporary classrooms and into a more permanent building. So, if y'all have any questions, I'll get on.
Well, thank you, Mr. Taylor. If we have questions, we'll ask those after the public portion of the hearing. So
Okay.
if you step aside for just 1 second, please. This is a public hearing. If anyone is here to speak to this case, this is your opportunity to come forward. And seeing no one, we'll close the public portion of the case and ask any questions we have.
I'll just mention that we heard this at the city council when they asked for the city to vacate. And so, we all looked at the plans, looked at the what the resurvey would look like based on us vacating that corner property. And, it passed unanimously. So just make that comment.
The city council vacated the affected right-of-way back on September of this year, so September 11th. So that combined with the one lot and part of another one are what were outlined earlier in that map in yellow that would be incorporated into the Islamic Academy. And for the record, I'll go ahead and say that at the time that a new building is ready for construction, it will be presented to the Planning Commission as an amended development plan. That tonight is just the resurvey before the Planning Commission, and then at some future date, you'll see an amended development plan when the building is ready to go forward.
You ready for a motion, Mr. Chairman?
I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve RS 231201.
I'll second that.
All right.
Mr. Broadhead,
Yes.
Mr. Goulas,
Yes.
Ms. Andrus,
Yes.
Mr. Henniger,
Yes.
and Mr. Roberts.
Yes, so, Mr. Taylor, the resurvey has been approved by a 5-0 vote. Thank you. Okay, moving on, our next two cases are related, so we'll hear them at the same time. The first is a resurvey, 819 Green Springs Highway. The applicant is Green Springs Development LLC. The second case is an amended development plan for the same address, AD 23-12-03, with the same applicant. So, if you could just state your name and address, and also note that on the pad, we'd appreciate it. And then tell us why you're here and what you're asking us to do.
Absolutely. It's J.J. Thomas, 710 Morris Boulevard. I am here to seek a resurvey of the property, the 4 acres, and divide it into 2 separate parcels. Should be 2.21 acres and 1.84. And I'm also here to seek an amendment, to the previous approved final development plan.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Thomas. This is a public hearing. If there's anyone here from the public to speak to this case, this is your opportunity to come forward. And seeing no one, we'll close the public portion. Mr. Thomas, if you could answer any questions we have, I'm going to just start out. I know we heard this case a couple months ago, essentially a resurvey and an amended development plan. What is different about these cases? What have you changed?
Kelly, do you want to help me here? Yeah. Please.
So the difference in the cases that we heard last month and the case tonight is that the property line shifted on the resurvey a few feet to get it out of the way of the proposed building setbacks, and to include 3 parking spaces. Also on the development plan, we have a zoomed-in version of what's actually being developed on this lot, which is a little different than the development plan was last month. And that's the only difference.
Was there a change to the easement? Is that something I'm seeing?
Yes, there was. So, good catch. We added the 24, Mr. Thomas added the 24 wide access easement that shows the connectivity allowed between the Lot 2 and the right-of-way on Green Springs.
Yeah, I think as a follow-up to the conversation, you may remember at that last month's meeting, the amended development plan divided into 2 lots, but it was technically sort of considered the edge campus still included both lots. So I think coming back tonight, the intent is to show that Lot 1 is focused on the new boundaries of the campus, of the edge campus, and that Lot 2, which was to be developed at a future date and which is intended as the site for a new church, that is sort of separated. So there's that, as Cale was saying, you're sort of focusing in on the edge now being just on one piece of property as opposed to the edge boundaries being both lots. So just for that clarification.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And the purpose of the resurvey is we are under contract set to close with a church for the back parcel. So that's why we're here.
And I'll also reemphasize again from last month that there are no plans or provisions at this point in time for any access from Columbiana Road. All access by these access easements will come from Green Springs into the edge and then on to the church's lot. So again, emphasizing there are no plans to provide access from Columbiana Road to the church.
If there are no further questions from the commission, I'd entertain a motion first on the resurvey.
Move to approve RS 231202.
Second.
All right. Mr. Broadhead,
Yes.
Mr. Goulas,
Yes.
Ms. Andrus,
Yes.
Mr. Henniger,
Yes.
and Mr. Roberts.
Yes, so your resurvey is approved. And I would also entertain a motion on the amended development plan.
I'll make a motion to approve AD 231203.
Second.
All right. Mr. Broadhead,
Yes.
Mr. Goulas,
Yes.
Mr. Roberts,
Yes.
Ms. Andrus,
Yes.
and Mr. Henniger.
Yes.
And your amended development plan will go forward to city council with a 5-0 positive recommendation from
Thank you.
the commission. Thank you.
And do you have, okay, very good. Okay, thank you.
Okay, our last case tonight is a rezone request RZ 23-12-04 relating to 3011 Firefighter Lane. The applicant is Shane Davis. Whoever,
Mr. Shane Davis, right?
I'm sorry? Okay.
Mr. Davis, yeah.
All right, Mr. Davis.
He's in Texas and couldn't be here tonight.
Oh, I understand. Okay, so who do we have here? If you can just state your names and also record your names and addresses.
Yes, okay, so I'm Buffy Allen, I'm with Ray and Pointer Properties in Mountain Brook. I'm the realtor for the Davises, for the property at 3011 Firefighter Lane. I brought my husband with me, just have him meet me here and maybe answer anything that I wasn't able to answer for you.
I'm an attorney, so I support her.
So, Shane Davis, the son, was raised on Firefighter Lane. Mr. Davis was a firefighter in Homewood for many, many years. He worked his way up to battalion chief, and then Mrs. Davis lived there 54 years, and really lived there until the house became uninhabitable. So the current zoning is R5, and obviously it's not zoned for residential use. They have attempted to sell it many times over the last 4 or 5 years, and nothing ever comes of it because of the zoning. And so I came up with a plan. I have a good bit of experience in selling lots in the city of Birmingham, and I gave them a phone call and found out what was wrong and figured out a way to make it useful to them to be able to sell it, which is going from a medium, R5 is a medium density, and this is a big lot. So it didn't make any sense to me why it was R5. Mr. Goodwin was extremely helpful in kind of laying out, what I thought was wrong, and then he sort of, helped me along with the application, which is what we've done. Mrs. Davis is too elderly to be here. She's not present. She lives in Oneonta. So I think it's pretty self-explanatory, our statement of intent, which we worked very hard on with the architect. And he drew up 2 very nice townhomes. There's some color renderings in there, at least there should be in the packet. And the floor plans are lovely. The parking would be in front of the townhouse, not on the street. And of course, they would not be the developer or the builder of this property. We just want to be able to sell it to a builder or to whoever that wants to develop those. And they're perfect. They meet the setbacks and everything, so there shouldn't be any problem, except that it makes it useful for this wonderful family that grew up on Firefighter Lane.
Well, thank you. We're going to now open this up for the public portion of the hearing. If anyone here in this empty room wants to speak to this case, come forward now. Seeing no one, we'll close the public portion, and if you would please answer any questions the commission has.
Literally seeing no. What makes the current lot, I think we mentioned it was non-conforming. I know Kel just left. I was just curious. What makes it not developable, I guess, at this point?
Well, if you look at your sheet, and this is what really first caught my eye when the property kept going on the market and off the market, and I was watching it and I couldn't figure out what in the world was wrong with it. And then I learned, of course, that it's not zoned for residential. So if you look at the setbacks and the density of an R5, if you scroll down, so your minimum lot is 8,000. Well, you know, this lot definitely exceeds that. But if you move over to the maximum area of ground coverage is at 35%, and then your setbacks, the lot allows for a lot more room than that. It basically is an R7. It just is incorrectly zoned. If you look at all of the setbacks and the medium density of the current zoning versus what it could be, and there's plenty of room. And by hiring the architect and drawing those plans along with the setbacks, that's what we showed that it could easily be done and make it useful. The family has no interest in, you know, renovating this home in any way. It was built in the 20s. She doesn't even live there anymore. It's not habitable. And it's also, you know, it doesn't look nice on the street. What we are proposing is 2 beautiful townhomes that I think are highly desirable for the area. And it would be sold as a lot with the plans that you have in your hand on a gigantic sign and the color renderings, and my brokerage would be the one handling the sale.
Who would handle, you would handle it?
Yes, I will be the listing agent on the property.
So R5 is residential, just not.
Yeah.
Is
yeah.
Right,
residential.
It is-
multifamily. I'm
right,
sorry,
it's not-
Yeah,
excuse me.
it is- yeah, it's current, single-family
It's-
uses, right.
Yeah,
Right.
It's not NPED, it's not the typical single house.
Yeah,
single home.
you can't rebuild a residential structure.
It's not NPD, right? It's not.
Right.
what-
You can't fix the one that's there and you can't build a new house
Correct.
there.
One
so
house,
Correct.
without
It's
rezoning to
not
NPD.
economically
Correct.
feasible to rebuild,
Right.
yeah, that, or renovate the existing structure. And as I did point out, we did notify all property owners within 500 feet, some 140, but we have not received any comments, pro or con, but that, so.
If there are no further questions, I would invite a motion.
Motion to approve case 23-12-04. Second.
All right. Mr. Broadhead,
Yes.
Mr. Goulas,
Yes.
Mr. Henniger,
Yes.
Ms. Andrus,
Yes.
and Mr. Roberts.
Yes. So your request will go forward to city council with a 5-0 favorable recommendation from the commission. Thank you.
Thank you, thanks for your time. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, so any communications from staff? Obviously, Mr. Smith has made his communication, has given us his thoughts by leaving.
I do, Mr. Chairman. I would like to just say, everyone keep the Armsteads in your prayers, that their home got hit Saturday night. He had lost 3 cars and has 2 trees on his house. So everybody keep Winslow and his family in your prayers.
I'm sorry, who did you say?
Winslow.
Winslow, yeah. I drove by Saturday, I
Yeah.
mean Sunday morning
Yeah.
and saw the trees, so
Yeah, yeah,
he
it's bad.
suffered some damage, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's okay. I mean, and
You say he lost 3, I mean, 3 cars were
and
impacted?
2 trees fell on his house. So,
That's
yeah,
discouraging.
yeah, yeah. So keep him in your prayers, he and his
Yeah.
family.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. All right, well, with that, I'll make a motion and grant the motion to adjourn. Thank you.
Okay, cool.